This is the last flying super constellation in the world, and I'm about to take you for an exclusive tour right now. This is history. G'day, Jim.
G'day.
Right, so one of the big questions is, why do you have 3 tails on this aircraft when all other aircraft have just 1?
The reason is very simple. When they built this aeroplane initially, they were operating, all the airlines were operating DC-3s and things like that, and the tails weren't very high. This had one single fin that wouldn't go in the hangars. So they put 3 so that it would go into the existing hangars.
Very smart.
That is very smart.
Yeah. So it wasn't actually about the aircraft, it was more about the hangars. So tell us about the wing of the Super Constellation.
When Qantas first bought these aeroplanes and I was an apprentice, we didn't have the tip tanks.
So that is an actual fuel tank on the wing?
That is right. Holds about 500 US gallons of fuel, which they needed to get the range. 9 tanks, including the tip tanks.
So can you tell us about the motors?
They have 18 cylinders, 2 rows of 9, and they produce 3,300 odd horsepower. It's called a power recovery turbine. Each one of the 3 of those on each engine, and they put about 250 horsepower each.
I've noticed the shape of the fuselage. It's like a dolphin shape. Why is that?
Well, the reason is that when they built the aeroplane originally, they wanted to put the biggest engines available. So big engines require big propellers. So we required big ground clearance. To keep the nose gear short, they bent the fuselage down. To keep the elevators and tail surfaces out of the prop wash, they kicked the tail up.
Can we have a look inside?
Certainly can.
Here's the old Qantas staircases. There's no seats in the back here. Is this like a cargo configuration?
Yeah, it is. This aeroplane was configured as a passenger, cargo and medevac aeroplane.
Full bathroom, Jim?
Yes, it is. That's the American Air Force version of a full bathroom. If you look on the left here, 2 reading lights. Look on the right, 3. So in the original configuration, it was 2 on one side and 3 on the other.
Here's the olden day storage racks.
Yep, no lids, no nothing. Just put your coat up there.
So what's the rope about?
The rope is what they used to use instead of an escape slide.
Oh.
So if you had to get out of the aeroplane through the emergency exit, you went out there, you took the rope and then you lowered yourself down to the ground. This is a resemblance of first class. It's as good as we could get.
First class got a table.
When they were first class was down the back, they had layback chairs to make a bed. Had like a big version of that to fold out and make another bed up there.
Did they have air conditioning in the aircraft back then?
That they did. That was the big advantage that Lockheed had over the other manufacturers, because the airplane was pressurised and it was air conditioned.
Oh yeah, little kitchen.
Yeah, this is the American Air Force version of a kitchen or galley.
Wow, this looks different. What do we have here? We got beds and we also got some station.
Well, this is a navigator station. Bearing in mind that when these aeroplanes were built, they didn't have GPS. So the navigator actually navigated using sun sights and things, and he has a periscopic sextant. Because the aeroplane's pressurised, he couldn't open the window and take sun shots and that. So this goes up into here and goes through, and he'd take his sights for sun lines and that sort of thing through there.
So he was gauging navigation by the sun?
Well, that's one of the things, and the stars.
This is the original route in 1947 from Sydney to London. It took 55 hours in the air, 4 nights, and a total of 93 hours. The crew beds?
Yeah, that's crew rest, yes, on the long sectors that they did.
I can feel the history and I can also smell the history.
Yes, that has a very distinctive smell, and I think most of it comes from the hydraulic oil that they use. In here, we have on this, it's the flight engineer.
Yeah.
The first officer, the captain, and here was a jump seat for the pilot, and jammed in this corner was a radio operator. The flight engineer runs the show, big time. He's got control of the throttles, he's got control of the mixtures, he can feather the engines, he's got all the array of information here.
When you're flying it to air shows and events nowadays, do you still need the engineer?
We certainly do. We carry 2 of them. They're monitoring the power and making sure that you don't have an engine problem. When something goes wrong, it happens very fast.
I can't go on a Super Constellation without sitting in captain's seat, can I?
Sure you can.
Thank you.
Just the usual things apply.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything.
Yeah. Definitely no screens in here. Between the pilots, the engineers and the radio operators, this was very hands-on flying. Here's the manual trim wheels. Right
Yeah,
here.
that's the elevator trim.
Yeah.
Make the airplane go up or down.
Yeah.
That is the rudder trim.
Yeah.
Make it steer left or right. And that one is the aileron trim, which makes it level.
So the pilots that are flying around now, who trained them?
Well, it all came from when we were in America with the airplane in Tucson, and American pilots trained our pilots, and since then our pilots have trained more pilots.
So how many of the Super Constellations around the world are still flying?
There's only one Super Constellation in the world flying, and that's the one you're sitting in.
And right now, I'm the captain.
Yep, you are.
All right, Jim, where's the key to start it up?
The key is the flight engineer.
Oh.
He starts the engines.
And if you want a tour of the Super Constellation, come to HARS Aviation Museum. Make sure you like, subscribe, and check this video out right here. See you on the next one.